Hello and welcome to this very surprising episode of Let's Talk. We are here today, my friend Arturo and me, Michael, because there was another headset, the Sulon Q, which is a virtual reality headset without any tethers, just like the Gear VR. Arturo, tell me, what do we know at the moment? It was announced at the GDC in San Francisco. What do we know up until this point?
Well, they are advertising this headset as a first. Not as the first untethered head-mounted display, but as the first one that allows for spatial awareness. And what is this spatial awareness, you might ask? Well, it's the thing that the Oculus has and that the Vive has and that the Gear VR doesn't have, which is that the headset has a position in 3D space, in a virtual 3D space, so it doesn't just know when you rotate to the sides or when you look up and down, but it also knows when you're moving to the side or to the front or to the back. So the Oculus does this by using its the cam, it's not really a cam, but the infrared sensor that detects where the HMD is, and the Vive does with the Lighthouse system. But in this case, it uses a different system. It has cameras on the headset instead of outside, because it has to be an untethered system, of course, so it has to have everything built in, not just this spatial awareness thing, but also the batteries and everything that lies around the headset.
What it also has on the headset and in the headset is a system on a chip by AMD. It's the FX 8800P, which is like an entry-level CPU with a GPU in it. It has 4 cores for CPU and 8 cores for GPU.
It's used in laptops usually, right?
Yes, it usually is used in laptops, and they're saying they're trying to use it with up to 35 watts. Usually in notebooks, when it's used there, it uses only 15 watts because of overheating issues. And now what we talked about it a little bit before the show. How hot will this become, like in front of your eyes, if it's right behind the display?
Super hot.
Probably. So it will probably most of the time run at a lower wattage, just like in the notebooks, at around 15, which is what I would presume. We don't know yet. Maybe they can make it happen with some sort of weird cooling solution, but usually it doesn't run at this wattage. What they're promising is console-like graphics. Now, this is in theory possible to go like up to PS4 standards or up to Xbox One standards, but then again, you have to think about the display, which is a 1440p display with 90 Hertz. So just like the Vive and just like the Oculus, it has the same specs in terms of field of view, hertz and pixel resolution, and the consoles don't have to output to this high resolution.
So basically you have to move with a laptop graphics card, you have to move a resolution that's on par with the HTC Vive and the Oculus. So
well, the resolution itself isn't the problem, it's the 3D which then comes into play. That bears the question, which kind of games or applications will this device be able to run in the end? Now, Sulon says that they are going to ship this with Windows 10. So actually what you're wearing on top of your head with the Sulon Q is a PC, a low-end PC or a notebook in a completely new form factor. You can put this on top of your table, then use the HDMI output that the thing has, the USB. It actually comes with a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, and it has USB ports and everything, so you could actually use it as a normal everyday PC for writing documents and doing stuff like that. So this is a revolutionary, really, approach to a new, or let's just say it's a revolutionary new form factor for PCs. And as it is a PC, it uses DirectX 12. It comes with a Windows license, which you're sort of buying with the device. And so it will also make use of Vulkan and DirectX 12. So actually, it might be able to be quite competitive in terms of graphical power. So actually, maybe some of the games might run in the future that you're seeing now on the Rift only, where you need this beefy PC. And if I remember correctly, like when I played Gunjack on the Samsung Gear VR thing, it doesn't look like worlds apart from what you see in Eve Valkyrie. And games like Lucky's Tale, they are not like super awesome graphics as well. There are games coming for the Rift and the Vive which look really nice, but usually they go for a more like comic-y look, which might also work on this kind of device that AMD and Sulon are showing now.
But also the input and the way the games are developed from scratch, I think is radically different if you're doing it for either Gear VR or for a higher end like HTC Vive and Oculus Rift. And I think this device may fall in kind of a dangerous place if you're a developer and you're trying to make games and get them out to people. If you have either the choice to make them for Gear VR and do something like Gunjack that's like simpler, you aim with your head, you only have one button. It's a great experience, but with its limitations. Or you either go to the full-on game, let's do Hover Junkers, or let's do an Eve Valkyrie, where you have the controls and everything. Then what are you going to do with this kind of device, with the Sulon Q? For one, you have the spatial awareness thing, but for the other, you have the limitations of Gear VR. So you have like the good things, but also bad things of the both.
Yes, but you also
sides.
have, and that's what they are saying, you also have the capability of doing augmented reality stuff. And in the press release they put out there, mentioning this a lot, that they are showing demos at the show floor at GDC, mostly about augmenting your reality. So you will be able to, let's say, take a Windows application and then put it to the side of your room, for example, and then put another window and use those windows and use them in augmented reality, or enhance your looks, like use filters. You go outside, you go for a walk, and you put like an Instagram-like filter in your viewing field, or just like a Google Maps arrow that points somewhere. So that could be actually working with this kind of device.
So you're with the headset on, sitting on your couch, and you're seeing the couch because the HMD has a outward-facing camera, but you're putting like a layer on top of that. That's why it's augmented reality, with the windows and with everything you're doing, right? So you could be browsing Twitter while you're watching TV, while you have a game on the side.
It looks
like that.
Probably a bit like what HTC just showed, like how their Steam Big Picture mode also is able to use like windows and put them up into your viewing field. But what I would suggest is that they have a better camera system in terms of quality than what the Vive Pre or Vive will have, because their lens is not the best. And if they're going for augmented reality full on, then they should have a better camera.
And also what they were saying is that, well, it has two cameras facing outwards for what we could see, and also that it maps the outside world, which the Vive doesn't. It just shows the picture, but it doesn't know if what you have in front is 1 meter away or 2
at least
meters
at the
away.
moment. It's all software in the end. Maybe Valve might develop something like it, but here they're announcing it today that that's what they're going to do. You might actually break a glass. Like if you throw a ball into a window, it might shatter because the headset knows this was a window where you just threw
So the
ball.
things you have in AR, in the virtual part of the AR, are interacting in real time with the real things of your environment, right?
Exactly. Let's get back to maybe one point I was thinking about. So the design of the headset is radically different from what we see at the moment with the mobile phone thingy, with the Gear VR and the classical headsets. We are already calling them classical. The Vive and the Rift.
The first generation.
Exactly. Where you have, with this one, a battery on the back of your head, which must be quite heavy, I assume. And from what I read on Reddit until now, people are even suggesting that you might come up with a belt, a battery belt, so you can actually walk for long distances and use this kind of device outside a lot.
That doesn't sound very comfortable, or
it sounds more comfortable than the laptop sec when you try to power your Rift with a laptop.
I don't want to be waiting for the bus and seeing people approach me wearing this head. No. I'm not ready for this. No, this is not right. Yeah. People crossing the street with these things strapped to their faces. No, not yet. Not yet.
What we do not know as well is the price. So we don't know the weight of the thing, which might come in heavy, although they promise it will be lightweight, but let's see. The price, like I see them selling it for under €1,000 or dollars in the end, because it's not the highest end graphics, and you don't have to build in like the LTE chipsets that you need in a new mobile phone. And the Gear VR thing plus the headset usually goes for about 800. So maybe it's in that ballpark.
Well, let's not talk about ballparks that much. I think it would be great if it was under $1,000, but I find it hard to believe how they can fit so much technology and this nice display they're showing off and everything, and keep it under that price. If it has a display that's on par with HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift, but it also has the graphic capabilities of a console-like experience, plus it has Windows 10, plus it has Wi-Fi, plus it has all the connections, the HDMI, the USB. That's not expensive, but still that takes into the building and the engineering of the product. So I think it would be great, but I don't see them doing that very easily, to be honest. And plus, it's shipping like this spring, so
that's what they want to achieve, which I find like super strange, because they want to first get the SDK out and then also sell the finished product this spring. I would say probably not, but let's see. I mean, we said the Vive might not be able to do it, and it seems to be shipping quite well.
And what also bear in mind, if the SDK is not yet out, that means
there's going to be no content whatsoever. I think in terms of demos, what could happen is that it might get compatible with the HoloLens stuff of Microsoft. If they get that would be a huge deal. I think technically it must be possible to get those demos, these current HoloLens demos running on this system, but they need the license and SDK from Microsoft running, and I don't know if Microsoft would be interested in anything like this.
And also maybe for a business use, I could see it more easily used than for gaming specifically. Maybe if you can have this like in fashion, in stores or in car dealerships or places where you can like put on the headset and see something that wasn't there, or for architects or something like that. I think maybe as a form of visualization, it could be an easier sell than for games where you want the highest fidelity and top notch.
I mean, if we're thinking about games again, you don't have any terms of upgradability in this thing. You go and pay lots of money, and then you have like this middle of the road thing now, and you will never be able to upgrade it. At least with the Gear VR, you can always get a better phone and upgrade your hardware this way. And this, at least Parmalaki said, he thinks this is going to be the future. So I don't see people upgrading these kinds of headsets every 2 years. It won't be happening. You will buy this, and it should, like a console, stay for at least 5 years and work fine.
So difficult middle ground for this is what we're thinking.
It's super interesting. I think they have a lot of right ideas with this one. And, well, let's see if it news should come really quick if they want to hit their targeted window for shipping. So this is our first take on this Sulon Q headset, the new virtual reality and augmented reality wireless headset coming probably spring 2016. Let's see.
Hopefully.
Yeah. What are your opinions on this? We want to know. Put them down in the comments, and let's have a discussion about this.
And we'll see each other in the next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one. And another one.